This is our custom Paladin deck. It's not completely complete, but I've reached 3-star master with it. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a look at what we're working with here. We start off, we've got Noble Sacrifice. It's a 1-drop. It's a secret. When an enemy attacks, summon a 2/1 defender as the new target. It's a great way to take out anything with 2 health, and it can also save you if they've got something threatening lethal damage at the end. So I like having Noble Sacrifice in there. I'm thinking about putting 2 in, but I'm not positive. We've got Argent Squire. It's a 1-drop for 1/1, and it comes with Divine Shield. I think it's a solid 1-drop, and it takes rogues and mages a couple turns to get rid of them. Usually anything they play as a 1-drop, the Squire can deal with. Leper Gnome is another 1-drop, 2/1, and it's really great for stomping totems, shaman totems. It's not that great against mages or rogues because they can use their ability to kill it. Druids as well. I should get a second Argent Protector. You're exactly right. In fact, I can do that right this second. No, I have none left. But he's a common. I can craft him. I would absolutely put 2 Argent Protectors in. I'll probably be taking something out. We have Fairy Dragon, which is an amazing 2-drop for anyone who uses spells as removal. If you go second and you drop that on turn 1 against a mage or a warlock or something like that, it's very, very hard for them to deal with them sometimes. Especially if you turn that, if you drop that and then you turn 3 Shattered Sun Cleric, or if you turn 2 Fairy Dragon, turn 3 Shattered Sun Cleric, and you bump it up to another 1/1, it's really, really tough. I've had Fairy Dragons win games by themselves for me because they just can't get rid of them. We've got Novice Engineer, which is 2 for a 1/2, Battlecry, draw a card. This is just card draw for us. I think it's preferable in a lot of cases to the Loot Roller. The reason is because if the Loot Roller gets silenced, you don't draw the card, and also the Loot Roller gets traded with any kind of ping from a mage, from a rogue, from a druid, and they kind of negate that card draw. So I prefer the Engineer to the Loot Roller most times. We've got the Youthful Brewmaster. Battlecry, return a friendly minion to the battlefield, from the battlefield to your hand. This is really good. You can use it on an Engineer to draw an extra card. You can use it on an Argent Protector to give another Divine Shield. You can use it on Shattered Sun Cleric to give another thing 1/1. You can use it on so many different things, or you can just use it on a powerful weakened card, like say Argent Commander. You charge him out there, pop the Divine Shield, bring him back with the Brewmaster, and you get another Divine Shield again. The Brewmaster just has a lot of uses in this deck, and I really like it. Acolyte of Pain is more card draw. If you get 1 out of him, like say you play the Acolyte of Pain and they Frostbolt it. Now Acolyte of Pain is a card and Frostbolt is a card. That's 1/1, but you draw a card when it takes damage. So if they Frostbolt, if they do anything that's not a cantrip and not a creature to the Acolyte of Pain, it's worth it for you to play the Acolyte of Pain. So I really like him as a card. Shattered Sun Cleric, this just buffs any minion on the board, and it's a 3 for a 3/3. True Silver Champion is amazing. I a lot of times trade 2 cards for 1 with this guy. Plus you restore 2 health every time you're attacking, so you're not getting yourself way too low when you're attacking with weapons. I love True Silver Champion. I think it's a very strong card, very strong weapon. Not a lot of people run oozes these days either, so. Consecration is our 1 board clear AoE ability. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. It's pretty standard, just if you're playing against a weenie deck or just a lot of small creatures, this is your card of choice. Hammer of Wrath, as I said before, I love cantrips. Cantrip is any card that when you play it, you also draw a card. This is 4 to deal 3 damage. Usually this will take out anything they play on turn 3 and some things they can play on turn 4. Hammer of Wrath just seems really strong to me. It usually trades favorably. Defender of Argus, give adjacent minions +1/+1 and taunt. I play a very board control heavy style, and so usually I'll have creatures on the board. They won't be able to get rid of everything. Defender of Argus is amazing because they'll do a play and they think I won't be able to take out what's on the board. I'll Argus. I'll be able to trade tokens for their creatures. I'll be able to trade weenies like Novice Engineer or something for the creatures as well. I really like Defender of Argus. Sinjin Shieldmaster is another taunter. 3/5 for 4. I like him a lot because there's so many spells that are 4 or below casting cost that can't deal with the Shieldmaster. As I showed you before, Hammer of Wrath can't deal with him. Consecration can't deal with him. Spellbreaker, he's any silence, he's still a 3/5 for 4. Shadow Bolt, anything. Shieldmaster is just a really strong card. Heavy on toughness is what I like about him, because most spells can't get rid of him. So we have 2 of those. Spellbreaker is my silence. Anytime they play anything big, enchantments on creatures, etc., Spellbreaker comes in, silences a minion, and he's still a 4/3 for 4. So he'll usually get rid of a card that they've buffed their champion with, and trade 1 for 1. So he's usually worth 1.5 cards to 2 if you play him right. Argent Commander, same thing. He's a 6-drop. He's pretty expensive for only a 4/3, but he's got charge and Divine Shield. So you play your Argent Commander, you charge in, you kill anything with 4 toughness, and he's guaranteed to stay on the board and maybe trade for 2 cards for 1. This whole deck is about value. 2 cards for 1, 1.5 cards for 1, things like that. Sunwalker is no different. She's a big taunter. She's a 4/5 for 6, and she has Divine Shield. This works out really well if, say for example, you're against a warrior and the warrior has 2 3/3s on the board. The Sunwalker kills both of them and keeps going. So it's not so great against mages where they can just ping the Divine Shield off or polymorph it or what have you. But I really, really like Sunwalker in most situations. We have a Stormwind Champion, 7 for a 6/6, but he gives every other minion a +1/+1 on the board. Very strong. You know, he himself is a 6/6, which is pretty strong, not for 7, but making everything else on the board a 1/1 is really good, especially when you play a board control style like I do. And last but not least, we have a Tyrion Fordring. He's a 6/6 for 8. He has Divine Shield, he has Taunt, and when he dies, assuming he doesn't get silenced or polymorphed, you equip a 5/3 Ashbringer. That's potentially 15 damage on the board anywhere you want it with just the weapon, plus you've got Tyrion. So he's a huge silence mind control target, but as long as you can draw those out before you play Tyrion, he's very, very strong. So that's my deck. It's a Pally aggro deck, very strong. I'm still tweaking it somewhat, but like I said, I got to 3-star master with this deck, and I really, really like it.